Imagine standing in front of a car with 16 pistons firing in perfect harmony beneath the hood. You expect thunder, you expect chaos, but instead you hear almost nothing, just a whisper of mechanical silk. This wasn't science fiction. This wasn't some concept car decades ahead of its time. This was Cadillac in 1930, an engine so bold, so complex, so utterly excessive that it rewrote what American engineering could achieve. Not built for efficiency, not built for restraint, but as a towering statement of dominance, a cathedral of pistons, valves, and ambition on wheels. This was the Cadillac, the V16 engine, a masterpiece that, for a brief shining moment, crowned Cadillac the undisputed king of luxury and engineering, even as it nearly drowned them in the storm of history. This is the story of a titan, born to be a king, buried by circumstance. Birth of the Titan. The stage was set on January 4th, 1930. Wall Street had just crashed. The Great Depression was tightening its grip. Factories were closing, banks were failing, fortunes were evaporating overnight. And yet, on that bleak January day, Cadillac unveiled something the world had never seen before: the first mass-produced 16-cylinder engine. Until then, even the best luxury automakers stuck to straight sixes or V8s. Packard had its smooth V12. The mighty Duesenberg shocked the world with its straight 8. But Cadillac wasn't interested in matching rivals. It wanted to annihilate them. If Packard whispered refinement, Cadillac would roar supremacy. The mastermind was Owen Nacker, Cadillac's chief engineer. But his vision wasn't to simply chase horsepower, it was to build perfection. An engine so smooth, so refined, so eerily quiet that no competitor could even dream of catching up. What he and his team produced was staggering: a 452 cubic inch, 7.4-liter V16, arranged at a classic 90-degree bank angle with overhead valves. It was as much a work of art as it was a machine. Engineering brilliance. The Cadillac, the V16, wasn't built to intimidate, it was built to mesmerize. Unlike the noisy, rough engines of its time, this was a masterpiece of balance. 16 pistons moved with perfect synchronization, creating harmony instead of chaos. Vibrations? Eliminated. Harshness? Non-existent. And then came Cadillac's trump card, the introduction of hydraulic valve silencers. In 1930, this was groundbreaking technology. While most engines of the era clattered, rattled, and ticked, the Cadillac, the V16, whispered. At idle, its voice was so eerily soft that bystanders could stand in front of the car and barely know the engine was running. It was as if 16 cylinders had been tamed into silk. Beyond the silence, the specifications themselves told an extraordinary story. The engine displaced 452 cubic inches, 7.4 liters, and delivered an impressive 165 to 185 horsepower, along with 320 pound-feet of torque. To truly grasp how outrageous this was, consider that the average family car of the early 1930s struggled to make just 40 horsepower. Even the finest luxury rivals couldn't match Cadillac's refinement or output. This wasn't simply an advancement, it was Cadillac leaping decades ahead of the competition in one bold stroke of engineering genius. This wasn't brute aggression. This was refinement turned into an art form, a machine so advanced that it felt like it belonged to another world. The cost of perfection. But brilliance comes at a price. The V16 was massive, complex, and incredibly expensive to build. Each one was hand-assembled, hand-inspected, and finished with jeweler-like precision. These weren't mass-produced motors. They were mechanical jewels, and Cadillac launched it at the worst possible time. The Great Depression had begun to suffocate the very millionaires Cadillac was targeting. The ultra-wealthy, the engine's natural customers, were vanishing. At first, sales looked promising. Nearly 3,000 units were sold in 1930. But as the Depression deepened, demand collapsed. By the mid-1930s, annual sales had dropped to mere dozens. Across a decade, only 4,076 Cadillac the V16 were ever built. Each one cost Cadillac more to produce than it ever earned back. Did it bankrupt Cadillac? Number. GM's deep pockets kept the brand alive. But the V16 became a costly burden, an engineering triumph that never paid for itself. Why it mattered. But to dismiss the V16 as a failed luxury stunt is to miss its deeper meaning. This engine was Cadillac's declaration to the world. Its slogan, "The standard of the world," wasn't just marketing. The V16 proved it. No Packard, no Duesenberg, not even Rolls-Royce could match its refinement. The Cadillac, the V16 wasn't competing, it was dominating. And it left behind more than prestige. It pioneered ideas that shaped the entire auto industry. Smoothness as a measure of quality. Silence as the ultimate luxury. Hydraulic lifters to tame valve noise. Thermostatic cooling for efficiency. Decades before NVH engineering, noise, vibration, harshness became a concept. Cadillac had already mastered it. The V16 wasn't just an engine, it was a philosophy. That true performance wasn't about loudness or aggression, but balance, silence, and effortless grace. The fall. But brilliance cannot outrun history. By 1940, the Cadillac the V16 program quietly ended. No farewell, no headlines. Just silence. Not because the engine had failed, but because the world had changed. The Depression had obliterated the market for opulence. World War II shifted Detroit's priorities from luxury to utility, and when peace finally returned, prosperity demanded something new. Cars that were smaller, faster, more efficient, more modern. The age of 16 cylinders was over. Once a king, the V16 became a ghost. Too rare, too costly, too extravagant for the new world. History had moved on. Legacy of a ghost. Today, the Cadillac V16 survives not as a machine of the present, but as a whisper from the past. A handful remain, preserved in museums or locked away in private collections. To stand before one is to see not just a car, but a monument to what American ambition once dared to build. It was not a failure of design, it was a victim of timing. No rival defeated it. Circumstance buried it. Among the public, the V16 never became a pop culture icon like the Corvette or Eldorado. But among collectors, it is the Holy Grail, the ultimate symbol of mechanical excess. And its legacy still echoes. Even today, when hypercars rarely exceed 12 cylinders, Cadillac's gamble looks insane. A 16-cylinder luxury car in 1930? That wasn't engineering. That was audacity. The V16 drained Cadillac's finances, but it cemented its reputation forever. It ensured that Cadillac would always be remembered not just as a car maker, but as the brand that once defined perfection itself. So here's the haunting question. Was the Cadillac the V16 Detroit's greatest masterpiece or its most expensive mistake? Was it the ultimate proof of Cadillac's engineering supremacy, or a warning that chasing perfection can consume even legends? The truth may never be fully answered, but its legacy is undeniable. And if you've ever stood beside a Cadillac, the V16 as it idled, if you've heard that eerie silence, you've witnessed something most car lovers will only ever dream about. Drop your thoughts below. Was the Cadillac the V16 brilliance or hubris? And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that shaped history.